This is lesson 5. Um, we are given LHA. We're just doing one of them. LHA, assume longitude or assume latitude, declination, true declination, and HO, which is your observed altitude, right? Uh, we are going to input those values here: 1, 2, 3, 4, and HO, your observed altitude, and we're going to find the rest, right? Now, you're going to have to rewrite this for yourself unless you cannot see it. Unless, yeah, whatever. So you have your body, your LHA, your A latitude, your declination, your observed altitude. Yeah. And so now we're going to use this book, the red one, right? And I have it here as well. And you can find it on the drive as well under publications, I think. Or you can just Google it, Psi Reductions Volume 2. It's on PDF. So the way that you use this book is if you look at this book, it goes from 15 to 22 on the first half of the book, and if you go all the way to the back, it goes from 23 to 30, right? So you have to take your LHA and your A latitude, and if you have the side reduction sheet, your work on the side, or you print out the work, you'll be able to see that your LHA is 315, and you have your A latitude at 20. So that means that your A latitude is dictating that you're gonna go to the first half of the book, right? So we're gonna be at 20, and 315 is going to be 23, 25, 26. So we went over too much. 21. So lower. Um, 315. All right, 315, right? Now when you have the book has two sides, right? This side is same and contrary, right? So just keep that in the back of your head, right? So if you look at the steps that I have written down, it says take LHA and A latitude. If greater than 22 degrees, it's the back half, right? That's step 6. It is below 22. We're here. We are at LHA 315, and it says step 7. If the true declination, the A latitude are the same, so north or south, then on the same side. If not, then contrary. What do I mean by that? I mean your true declination is 38 degrees 45 minutes north, and your A latitude is 20 north. So it's the same, so you're going to be using the same. If it was opposite, we would be using the contrary one. You see, contrary, the same. All right, so we are on the same, right? So on the same, we are LHA 315, and your A latitude of 20, and your declination is, our declination is 38, right? So we use LHA, A latitude, and the 38, right? We are going to drop this later on. We will be utilizing it, but 38, right? So 38, um, we're gonna bring it all the way to the bottom. So right here, 38, 20, and the LHA, we know that we're on the same page, and it's the same. So it's 4714.2. If you look at our sheet, 4714.2, tabulated, like tabulated. I don't know how to explain that. Um, so you put it right there, right? 47 dash 14.2 minutes, and we're gonna get other values as well. We're gonna get the 12.8, Is it 12.8? Yes, it is. It is negative 12.8. If you look at this values right here, some of them are positive, some of them are negative, right? There is theory behind it. I think it's when it crosses the something something, but don't quiz me on the theory right now. So we took the negative 12.8 and we put it on the D, right? So we put it right here. It is negative. Don't forget that. And then we're going to take, we're here, right? We are right here, 55.2. We're going to take that 55.2 and we're going to put it on the first Z, right? 55.2. And the second, it is always, there's another rule, you always go down and get the other value, 53.7. So 53.7. Cool. So we're good now. So we can go to, we got all of our values. And the following step says drop the minutes of the true declination. So remember we used 1, 2, 3, but we didn't use this 45. We're going to take this 45 and we're going to put it here, 45. So now we have this, and now we got to get, let me not jump ahead. So now we're going to get to this, right? To the 45. We dropped it here. So step we got all these values, HZ, D, Z1, Z2, right? Remember that for Z2, it's always below, always. It does not change. There is also something called, oh no, but that's for the other book, double second corrections, but that's not for this. Yeah, it's not. Disregard what I said. Alright, so you dropped the step 9, you dropped the minutes of the true declination, and now we're going to use the front and the back of the book, right? Literally is the first thing on the book. If you look at the first thing on the book, you're going to get these interpolation tables, right? They're easy to use. I don't know why people don't like using them. I don't know how to do the math. I know how to use the tables. All right, if you look at this, they go from 0 all the way to 7.9. The second one goes 8 and 15.9, right? And it ends there, right? And then this one goes this way, it goes this way. On the book, it has two sides, right? It has 2 pages, so that's the 2 pages. And the back, literally the back of the book, has the remaining. So the last, oh, this one doesn't, oh no, I guess on the file, I'm guessing it has, yep, on the file it has all the tables at the beginning, but on the book it has them at the beginning all the way to 31.9 for the declination increment, which is the 45 that we dropped, the 45 that we dropped right here. On the book it's half and half. On the file is at the beginning. So we have to go to the 45, right? We have to go to the 45. So we are going to be right here. We're going to put this all the way at the bottom. Right here at the bottom, 45. And we have to split the negative 12.8 into 2. So not divide by 2, but we're going to have to do it in increments. And if you look at the table, it's split into 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is a 10. We can take a 10 out of that. So we have negative 10 and negative 2.8, right? And we're going to take the negative 10. So we are at 45, negative, well, the 10, and it's 7.5. Remember that it's negative, so negative 7.5, right? If it was positive, it would be 7.5. And the 2.8. So this is kind of like the tricky part, right? So the 2's, the 1, 2, 3, the whole values are here, but the decimals are here, right? So you're going to be using 2.8. So 2 and we're gonna be using our answer is 2.1. So if remember that we're on this first line, and we had to use the 2 column, which is this column. This is the intersection between 45 and the 2, but we need to get to the closest point 8. This point 8 is all the way down here, and this point 8 is all the way here. It's the same value, but this is the one, as far as I can recall, the closest one is the one that you use, right? So now 2.8, it would be 2.1, right? That's the value that we got from the 2.8, negative 2.8. So now that's that. Now we're gonna go to the following step, which is add the the tens and the units. We're not using this, and this is the sum. So if you add both of them, we get this, right? And that was step 11. Step 12 says take the C tabulated altitude and apply the sum. So we are going to take the C tabulated altitude, right? This, and we're gonna apply all the sums, and we get 47 4.6, right? So we take 14.2 minus 7.5 minus 2.1. It is 4.6. Yeah, 47. Remember, if it's a whole degree or something like that, or this was like 5 and we took 7 and 2, you might have to change the 47 to a 46, and remember that it changes at the 60. So if it was 5 and you take away 10, it's gonna be 46.55, right? Now our HO was given to us. Remember, it was given to us. This we calculated on our own. Remember, how do you get your A? Your A from the rules before. I didn't write it here, but remember, it is if HO it is less than HC, you are away. If HO is greater than HC, you are Thor. So HO is greater, so you are Thor, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. So Thor 13.7, that is the difference between both of them. We're up to that point. Now we had these two values that we got from the PUB 229. And what we're going to do is, you see the difference in between this 53.7 and 55.2, right? So find the difference. So 55.2 minus 53.7, it is a difference of 1.5. So I have it right here, 1.5. And now the equation is right here, right? Times 45 divided by 60. So you're gonna take the 45 declination increment divided by 60 equals, and it gives you your answer, right? So you do the math, right? 1.5 times the 45 divided by 60, and your answer ends up being 1.13, right? So you have to go from you see how it goes 55.2 to 53.7. So the correction has to be in between it. You cannot have 55.2 plus 1.13, right? Because that's 56. That's out of the range. That's from Z1 to Z2, it's 55, 54, 53, right? Don't go the other way. Don't do that. So the correction has to be in between, right? So 55.2 minus 1.1. I had 3, 2.5, same thing. 54.07. So 54.1 right? Now, let's look at take HC that we did rule 13, yada yada. For the A, find the difference. We did that. And remember, that's what I just explained. And now, for your zenith angle, right? So your north, or is it north or south? We already got that it's 54.1. But how do you know if it's north or south? It's always, it's a rule. You're going to use your A latitude sign. So it's north, so north, circle it. Always. That's your rule. And for your other side, it's going to be your LHA, right? LHA is 315. Now this is where lesson 1 is gonna come into play, right? Because let me just pull it up. It's gonna be simpler to observe. Lesson 1. So if you look at lesson 1, remember that your LHA from this diagram, you see how LHA says M? It's right here. It is M west to the body, right? But if you look at your T, it is M to the body. It cannot be greater than 180. So what you're going to be doing, and let me get this correct. I don't have the diagram right here. So what you're going to be doing, it is west 315 LHA M west to the body. Where's my problem? Where's my problem? No, it's my tables. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so it's east, right? So our LHA is 315, right? Which on this diagram, remember that M is always at the top, the small m is here, and it's your LHA is M west to the body, right? So it's M. Where is it? Here. M. Let's just do, because we have this a different example. So it would be M west 315 is gonna be around here, right? So it would be M west 315 somewhere around here, right? But we are on the east side. We're not on the west. That's why we used east. The best way to do this is when you do your LHA, do your T. So like you'll eventually be able to get to the LHA of 315, right? You get to the LHA of 315, and from there right away, just do your T. And remember that your T is M, either east or west. It cannot be greater than 180. So remember that our LHA was 315. That means that our T is from here to here. So it's only 315, 360 minus 315, 45. So our T is 45, and it's going to be 45 degrees east. Your T is kind of like the would it be? No. No, I wouldn't. Anyway, bad thought. But your T is the 45 east, which that east right there that you would have just tells you that it's east. Whichever way helps you memorize it. And now you know how to do that. If I confused you, let me say it again. North is your A latitude. Your east or west is going to be your LHA. Remember, LHA is M west to the body was at 315, so it's all the way here, which is on the east side, which is the same as your T. T is on the, like, the reciprocal for that example. It's east, and you know how to do the rest. And if they told you to, if you did all of this 3 right here, you can advance or retard them whichever way they want you to do it, and now you know how to plot it. So you know how to do this part. We'll just cut the video here, and that's it. That's that for this lesson.